Jim, a 2-0 victory over Brechin City here at Glebe Park to kick off pre-season. How beneficial an exercise do you feel that was?
I think it was a good way for us to finish off our first week. The players obviously started back on Monday after a 6-week break, and the application and the attitude of the group has been excellent. And it was nice to get 45 minutes for all of the players today. Obviously, apart from Kevin Holt, who unfortunately came off with a cut just above his eye, but the doctors assessed him and he'll be fine to train next week and hopefully play a part in our next fixture next Saturday.
One of the main talking points has obviously been the change of shape, back three, back five, however you want to look at it. It was quite evident that was going to come with some of the signings that have been made. So what's been the driving factor behind that decision?
A lot of teams last season have had a lot of success playing with a back three and two offensive, very attacking-minded wing backs. And it's something that we are having a look at here now in pre-season. Very, very early days, obviously, with it. We've still got a lot of business to do within the recruitment. But for the players that we've brought in already, I think it's a sign, hopefully, to the supporters of the quality of player that we're looking at. There's been a lot of hard work done over the last 6 months, really, I suppose, in planning for being back in the Premier League. And both myself, Michael Kearney and Luigi have been working tirelessly to try and identify good quality players and then try and get those deals over the line. As I said, we still expect a number of new faces prior to the start of the league campaign, but hopefully by the time that first Falkirk game comes around, that first competitive game in the League Cup, we'll be better prepared this time round than what we were last season.
Mm-hmm. The group looked like they adapted well to that change, and the first goal was indicative of that. It was a really well worked move, and everyone kind of looked like they knew exactly where they needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be perfect. The boys have had 6 sessions last week, and then obviously the game today. There's a lot of principles that we need to bed in terms of defensive shape and the structure, and offensively as well. Today was difficult in terms of the heat. Obviously the grass on the pitch a little bit long and sticky and all of those things. There's mitigating factors for why maybe the tempo wasn't as high as what we would have liked it to be, but I thought the players went around it in a really professional manner. We would have likened some more goals. Obviously we had a couple of close offside calls in the first half. We've hit the bar a couple of times in the second half. But yeah, pleased with the overall application from the group, and it's as I said, finishes off a very good first week, and then the intensity levels in training next week will build up as we go along.
There's also a nice chance for some of the younger players to get a run out. We saw a debut for Brandon Forbes, Sean Boland as well, and they're still going to play a massive part for us next season, despite the fact that we are returning to the Premier League, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the academy is obviously a big part of the club, and it's something that I enjoy doing, having the better youth players in amongst it and rewarding them for their good performances with the academy. But that pathway is certainly there. I think we proved that last year with the likes of Kai Fotheringham being such a key player, Miller Thompson coming in the second half, Owen Sturton getting his debut at 16. So pre-season is always an opportunity for me as manager to have a look at these younger players, to see how they handle being in with the senior boys. And most of them have done very, very well. Brandon, you can see, very positive, very attacking-minded player. Naturally likes to play off the left hand side and cutting in onto his good right foot, but I like the fact that he played with no fear in the second half and was very positive and willing to go and try and commit to the defender more often than not in those 1v1 situations. Really pleased with the new players that we've brought to the club as well. Obviously Dave hasn't had a great deal to do in the goal in the first 45. Vichko, I think you can see the quality that he's going to bring. Will Ferry, very attacking minded down that left side. So, I think we're in a good place at this moment in time. We're certainly ahead of where we thought we were going to be in terms of the business that we've done. Obviously a great signing announced yesterday in Ryan Strain. Ryan won't come in with the group for another week to 10 days due to the fact that he's been on international duty since the end of the season, and we need to make sure we give him enough time to recover before he comes back in and does his pre-season. But hopefully with the players that we've brought in up to now, it's an indication to the supporters of the level and the quality of player that we're looking for. And we hope to have Trapanovsky in Dundee at some point in the early part of next week as well, and hopefully he'll play a part in the next friendly next weekend.